this government I know, you don't do this suffer. We pray God for Nigeria. After the election, what them do?
Good morning. Alexa, turn it down to 1. Good morning. Welcome to my Eagles Diary and welcome to today's sermon. Happy Sunday to all of you watching me from wherever you are watching from right now. This is my Eagles Live and I'm here to bring you updates on the continued crucifixion, persecution, and an attempt to kill Omoyele Sowore and anything and everything that is associated with him. While we grant amnesty to terrorists, while we give money to bandits, while we protect those who have brought upon us misery, death, blood, destruction, backwardness, underdevelopment, as this set of people strive in Nigeria, the genuine citizens asking for the government to act. This time around, we will recognize Buhari's regime as a regime, not as a government, and Buhari himself as a dictator and a general that his fans, the Buhari Dins and the Buhari Didiris, the Buhari Denotus and the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus and the Ungoziaris, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, the obedient fools, the humbled slaves, and so on and so forth. The way he appeals to them and the way they always want to call him, the general, a dictator. They conned Nigerians. Nigerians were conned by these con men who have never stood up to take responsibility for any of their actions. And citizens who are asking them to do the right thing are being persecuted, hounded, imprisoned, and even killed by this rogue opportunists, I call them. Read the caption. Don't just join to watch. Share it on your own page. Just click the share button right there on your screen. Invite everyone that needs to be here. And let us fire them again. Nothing must happen to Omoyele Sowore. They have messed up. And we have told them point blank that Omoyele Sowore is a dry bone that is tied to the neck of a rabid dog. No matter how hungry the dog is, no matter how uncontrollable the rabid illiterate dog is, he will never be able to hit that dog, that dog bone that is tied to his neck. And in this, this narrative is directed at the general, the dictator, a terrorist sympathizer in Nigeria, in what Nigeria has become today. I think it makes sense to be a terrorist, to be a problem to the society, to become a deadly threat that even the citizens are so afraid of that they will demand that your government should give you what you want. It makes sense. They say blood only knows blood. Iron only bends iron. And in this regard, activism in Nigeria is the softest approach to challenge a dictator, a terrorist, a coup plotter, a criminal, an opportunist who has now come, from his high horse, now looking down on all of us, and his minions, the ignorant, humbled slaves who support and urge them on, who knows nothing. They know nothing about the danger that lurk around when you urge or nudge a criminal with power to go on and harder. Let's come back to Sowore now. Omoyele Sowore's demands are not far-fetched. It is actually like every normal demand that every sane human being would demand from a rudderless, a reckless, an incompetent, a criminal government who has taken over the leverage of power from all spheres, at all levels, and people are now at the mercy of a supreme being that could probably come to their aid and save them. Sowore's demand is just for the government. Do the right thing. The criminals in government have further alienated Nigerians, and they have further divided Nigerians, that more Nigerians are demanding for the division of the country, because to save humanity, you have to divide Nigeria. You cannot let this power continue with these criminals, with the impunity at which they exercise, or they use the power. Sowore's demand doesn't make him a criminal. You may not like Sowore. In fact, you are not bound to like him. You may disagree with Sowore. It is all normal. We are not meant to always agree together. But let me tell you this. If you are so comfortable with the injustice at someone simply because you don't like them, guess what? They will be dealt with. And at the end of the day, they will be counted among the numbers of the victims that are going to come out of this dictatorship. And when they are done with him, they will see you standing, and they will want to know, why are you still standing when everyone else is bowing? And you will want to challenge them. At that time, those you support to be bowed, to be crippled, to be destroyed, they will remain on the kneel, while you will face the worst brutality that has ever occurred. At that time, there will be nobody speaking up. Everyone will just be like, bowed, because that will be your wish. And this is why we are saying, you may disagree with him. In fact, you never voted him, you never liked him, fine. But would you say your dislike or disagreement with Omoyele Sowore warrant a terrorist in government, right? To abuse the power of court and get away with it. If he's been doing it anyway, it's not going to be the first time. He's disobeyed court orders for over 46 times. 46 times. Do you know that 46 times? Do you know there are people involved? There were people who went to court, people arrested, kidnapped by this government, incarcerated, hidden somewhere with no record of their arrest, only for them to surface later in court as terrorists against Buhari. And at the end of the day, the court, without any evidence, just like Omoyele Sowore, no evidence to back up any of their useless accusations, right? The court granted them bail. And Buhari refused to honor this bail 46 times. It will get to you. It will get to everyone. And Sowore will come out of this. So the plot now, when they invaded the court, the last time they invaded the court, they lied. Thank God, the lies are now in the open. They lied about them invading the court, about the judge running away from her own court. An abomination, right? So when they realized that, because there are video evidence, so many videos online, so they couldn't probably deny any further, they sent delegates after delegates after delegates to go and apologize to Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu. The same judge they are trying to use her court to get Sowore convicted. You know what they did? And I'll tell you what they are actually trying to do again. When Buhari arrested Fela in 1985, when Fela was trying to board a plane with his band to, I think, to the United States at the time for a tour, and Buhari said, just the same way, Fela abused him in an interview, a newspaper interview, where he called Buhari animal in human skin. So why Fela was traveling out on his own business, Nigeria government under Buhari arrested him. When they couldn't find anything to charge Fela with, they charged him with possession of 1,000 I think he was coming to the UK. £1,000 they found on him. The money for his travel with his band. They charge him for illegal possession of foreign currency, of pounds. And they sent fella, when fella appeared before judge, just like this Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu, the same way they wanted someone they could use. Are you with me? When fella appeared before the judge, the judge said his hands were tied, that he has no evidence, no reason to send fella to prison. But he's been instructed that fella must go to prison. In this regard, he's sending fella to 5 years imprisonment for possessing pounds, his money, his own money, for illegally possessing, in possession of £1,000 or something or thereabout. That's what they want Ijeoma Ojukwu to do to Sowore. Do not question what we are presenting to you. Okay? This guy want to overthrow Buhari. That is treason. Revolution is treason. Now we are coming to you. We'll present our case. We'll present our witnesses behind the scene. Nobody will see them. Sowore will just be hearing people accusing him of things. Imagine. This is what they want to do with Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu's court. She will sit down as a judge. Sowore and his lawyers will sit down. Then DSS will bring their witnesses. The people that will say Sowore was planning to overthrow Buhari with them. Do you understand the game? But these people that will say Sowore plotted with them. In fact, Sowore told them to do this, to do that, how to overthrow Buhari. Those people, they will be behind curtain. Nobody will see their faces. Nobody will know their names. They will just sit behind curtains. Then DSS will then the downloaded video. You know that video where Sowore said, if the revolution starts, all this harassment will stop. DSS will stop harassing you. SARS will stop harassing you. Police will stop extorting you. All these criminals will run away. That video, they downloaded the video. It's part of the evidence to show that Sowore want to overthrow Buhari. Now, since that's your plan, all planned and prepared, release Sowore to his lawyers, so that whatever, at least you've accused him of treason, Abi, you will build your own case. He will build his own defense. Release him. Even if you are going to still convict him, even if you are still going to jail him, release him. Court said you should release him. They were like, who is this justice? We tried with Justice Taiwo. That idiot only gave us 45 days to keep Sowore. Now we came to this one again. This one is granting Sowore bail. In fact, you know what? You Buhari this and Buhari did this. You Buhari Shukus and then Ungos Yaris. The Buhari Dinotus and the Buhari Dijatus. The Mumu lecturers, the Bele lecturers. That's what DSS did do. They came on, they shouted, oh ye Mumu lecturers, Bele lecturers, Mumu Madus, obedient fools, humble slaves. This Ijeoma Ojukwu is supporting someone who is facing a serious criminal case, because this person wants to overthrow Buhari, but Ijeoma Ojukwu is giving him bail. Not that, oh, we don't have any case, we don't have any evidence. We have been keeping him for over 3 months. Yeah? So even if we have not built any case against him before, 3 months is enough to build a case and say, oh, see what we discovered. Rather, they came up, they said, Sowore transfer money from Sahara Reporters bank account. Sahara Reporters that is domiciled in America, not in Nigeria. Sahara Reporters that is registered in New York, in America. America spends dollars, don't they? Now, they say Sowore transfer money from Sahara Reporters account to dollar to his own account without authorization. Same thing they did to fella. Same thing. And people believe them. Now, people are still believing them because they know their base. So when they messed up the whole thing, the whole world was shocked. Like, wow. Is this actually happening? Oh my God. In Nigeria, inside court. What the fuck is this? Even during the military time, this never happened. Yes, it never happened. Where are the whole world was shocked when that video of Sowore's harassment surfaced. Even the presidency who was trying to spin it, they were trying to spin it and say, they even lied. They said Sowore staged his own arrest. And you think, when I told you that Buharism is a mental disorder, a serious one that people don't even know what and what will be the treatment. Buharism is a mental disorder. Apology to our brothers and sisters who may have one mental ailment or the other. Yours is different. You have diagnosis for yours. Yours is treatable. Buharism has no cure. People actually came on this street, on social media, and they shared the story that Sowore staged his own arrest. And they believed it. I mean, ask yourself. Someone who is fighting for his own freedom, and he knows he's been with these criminals for ages. He heard them talk. He knows their plan. He's been with them, right? He's fighting to leave that dungeon and be with his own real people. And you believe that that person, on the day they said he's been released, the video went viral. He spoke with his family in America, spoke with other loved ones. The following day, they brought DSS, brought different, even the what do you call it? Well, even when Falano appealed to them that it will bring Sowore to DSS office from the court. Do you know that they allowed the Falano to bring Sowore in his car, but they didn't allow Falano driver to drive the car. A DSS official drove the car to their office with Sowore inside. So you, Buhari did, bros, or even you, auntie, Buhari did not too. They hate Buhari. They want to overthrow Buhari. They want the Sowore stage his arrest to make Buhari look bad. Can you imagine? And we have to be reading two sides of a story. I actually thought the DSS wanted to arrest Sowore. I knew it. That Sowore is a criminal. He staged his own rearrest. Are you not mad? Are you not mad? If I may ask you, are you not mad? I just see your thought when DSS, the Ura Secret Service, came up with that lie. Your thought in your head that made you believe them or support them is what I just rejudged out, but now somehow. Because that is how you think. When they dish it out, they go on to their over 2,000, 3,000 WhatsApp groups, and they share the same story, the same thing. And you, to sound, they say something about the Buhari Danes and the Buhari Deterrence. They say to support Buhari, you don't need your brain. It is useless. You don't need it. Why do you want? They will think for you. Yes, that is why you believe them. That Sowore staged his own rearrest. To which place? To his own house. Meanwhile, that day, DSS, you saw the video, they rearrested him, Gestapo style, and took him to their office. Since then, they don't know what to do with him. They don't know what to do with him. They've come up with different things, but it seems that everything they try to come up with is never going to fly. Now, the last approach. One sec. The last approach, Malami, Attorney General of Nigeria. You heard the video. You saw a video where Malami couldn't even define what constitutes treason. Did you not see the video? They were asking him about revolution, and he was defining revolution. He said revolution, he want to overthrow they are so empty, and you know it. How can you then expect any miracle or any sort of progress at all from people that are so empty and holding very powerful positions? Starting from the president, who has dementia, by the way. They won't tell you. They can continue to patch him up. But you know it. Yeah, you know it. is half gone. So from the president, you have president, they put a professor, vice president. Abi? You go to the National Assembly, you see that one that is there, the Senate president. You see the one that is the speaker. And then when you start going on and you go back into the hierarchy of the executive, or you leave there, you go back to the judiciary, you will meet one there, Tanko Technicality, the plane driver. Babalawo Ife. That one is in charge of the whole judiciary. So if the executive fuck you up, if the legislature make laws to fuck you up, executive will sign it. If you fail to disobey it, Tanko Technicality with his team in the judiciary, you will be punished for it, for even questioning it. And that's what we have now. They want to add Sharia into our constitution. They are smart. When they told us then that there is an Islamization agenda, it looked like the Islamization agenda is actually Buhari's agenda. You know what I mean? It has been a long collective agenda of these rogues and criminals. It has always been. And it has always been fight. That's why I don't really want to associate with this Muslim, Christian and all of that. Islam and Christianity and all that. I respect you guys, by the way, because I've got friends among you. Many of you are my friends today, Christians, Muslim. But the reason why I don't buy it is this. It's because of the hypocrisy around it. You want to be a Muslim? Yes, enjoy it, be a Muslim. I want to be a Christian. Yes, fine, let me be a Christian. Okay, if you are going to go to Jannah, good. Then if I'm a Christian, I'm going to paradise. So if they say, okay, if you want to go to Jannah, Jannah is paradise in Islam. Paradise is paradise in Christianity, right? Hellfire is where you go if you are evil, as a Christian. Then Jahannam is where you go as a Muslim if you are a bad Muslim. What is the fight all about? But it is so obvious that those who are championing this are doing so because of one thing: control, power, and money. That's it. Not for that religion, but they will come with that, and it is manifesting. I have to be honest with you. Those who are propagating that, I won't use Islamization or whatever you want to call it. I will just use the furtherance of the interest of the limited few from that particular region of the country, the northern part of the country, because they don't even represent Islam. None of your politicians represent Islam, from Buhari to whoever is that other person that you see as a leader and a Muslim. None of your Christian leaders represent Christianity, and that is the truth. My truth. You can make up your own truth, but my truth is based on fact. And the fact is, if you look at both religion now, Islam, they said Islam preach peace. And when you have peace, it means no killings, no war, no this, no that. Christianity is about love. Love, just love. And when you love, there is peace. Then what is the friction all about? But when you look at the criminals who represent us in government, they claim to be Muslims, they claim to be Christians, but look at the country they are running. Do they represent the two religions? And that is why I said they don't. You may see them as, oh, that guy prays 30 times a day. That guy fasts and prays. He's been to Mecca, he's been to Medina, he's been to Jerusalem, he's a JP, he's a man of God. Fuck that. Okay? Fuck that. As long as I see you among them in that political wherever, you can use any front to propagate your own business, as your own political business. But we know better. If they follow the two religions that some of them are fighting to kill themselves for, right? Nigeria will be paradise on earth because we will be too blessed. What does that mean? The north is called Muslim. The south is called Christian. Fine, let's live in peace, love, right? Honesty, development, dedication, honesty, patriotism. But you won't find that in any of your political office holders. But they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are Alajis, they are JPs. And they? So Islamization agenda is rubbish. It is just the same solo interest agenda of the limited few who believe that they need to take one power, they need to take control, and they need money. Three things: power, control. Well, power, money, control. With power comes money and comes control. And everything you can do to make that work for you, you can name it whatever agenda you want to call it. Saudi can sponsor it just the same way Israel can sponsor it somewhere else too. But guess what? None of this sponsorship is in the interest of those they want to lead when they gain that power, that money, and that control. Do you see that? Do you? Exactly. In Nigeria, Omoyele Sowore is standing treason. They want to charge him for treason. Treason, I mean, they've already charged him for treason, but now they want to charge him for terrorism. Terrorism is, we all know the definition of terrorism, but because we are dealing with rogues, illiterate, people who have already, they've got the power, they've got the money, but they've lost control. The control is now what is eluding them, and they need to do everything to regain control, and they don't even know how to. Because in Nigeria today, you are valuable as a Boko Haram member. If you are not killed, you are more valuable than that neatly dressed, placard carrying Nigerian asking Buhari, right? Buhari, respect human rights. Buhari, respect the rule of law. Dictator Buhari, fix the road. Stop the corruption. General Buhari, please. All this. Nobody cares about that. Okay? But build an army. Give them guns. Ransack villages. Kill as many as possible. Buhari's government or Buhari's regime will send a mystery to you. What do you want? Come. You don't need to do this. Come on. What do you want? So you can tell them what you want. So you are more valuable as a criminal in Nigeria. Even though that is if they don't kill you, because they will still try to kill you. Those who survive it, or if you kill more of them. 2 days ago, Boko Haram boys, I mean, they uploaded a video of them killing 4 Nigerian soldiers. They have killed over 20 Nigerian soldiers in the last 2 weeks alone. 20 in the last 2 weeks. 20 Nigerian soldiers. Have you heard it from Buhari? When that video came out, do you know what the Janjaweed criminals who are in that Nigerian army they said? They said the video was uploaded by IPOB. That they were not Boko Haram members, and those soldiers killed, they were not Nigerian soldiers. The video is fake. Yesterday, there's a publication that Nigerian government gives 11 Nigerian soldiers private burial. Something they try to polish in a better language. Rather, they gave them secret burial. Only God knows what comes of their family after that. We are talking about Nigeria, aren't we? Only God knows what will come of what will become of their family. Sorry, I need to catch up with your comments. They are so long. They gave them private burial. That same yesterday, Niger Republic buried 77 soldiers killed by Boko Haram members. The president, members of parliament, the governor, and all of them, they were there to pray, to bury those soldiers. 77 Nigerian soldiers killed by Boko Haram. Same time, they killed about 20 of our own soldiers. Among those they killed, 4 of them, many of them were caught alive. Many of them are still very much in Boko Haram's captivity as I'm talking to you right now. Many of our soldiers, they are in Boko Haram captivity right now. So 2 days or 3 days ago, there was a video uploaded where they shot them, execution style. But guess what? There is no plan by Buhari's government to stop that charade. Rather, the only plan that is in existence in Buhari's government is amnesty for Boko Haram members. So you see those who do those who committed those crimes, right? Tomorrow, if they just do like this, are you with me? And walk up to Nigerian soldiers, you are not. If you shoot, you will be charged for murder. Doesn't matter that they've killed your colleagues, they've done all of that. Yes, so they can walk out, not because they will face any judge or any court. They are not going to any court. They are going to Buhari's court, already set up, Amnesty for terrorists. So as they are coming out, Buratai, the butcher, will welcome them. They will say they are processing them. That means they will take their details, where they fought before, how long they've been in Boko Haram, blah, 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 blah. Then the next thing, they will move them to somewhere in Kaduna. They have built a center there where they keep some of the Boko Haram. They build them all over the north, secret places most of the time. So some other government agencies like DSS, the police, the Nigerian army themselves, so they have their own secret facilities whereby Boko Haram members who have repented, yes, repented, and they've come up now that they will tell Nigeria where Boko Harams are hiding, or how Boko Haram are attacking Nigeria, how they can defeat Boko Haram. So these facilities, they were well kitted, well furnished. They have access to the cable TV. They have access to the Olo shows. They move them in for them. They make them comfortable. One of the facility is right there in Abuja, where DSS is keeping Omoyele Sowore, one of the Boko Haram repentant terrorists. One of the facilities where they are processing them. Before they will finally see the ones that will say, I want to join Nigeria army. So those ones, they are automatically recruited and sent to the war front. Lies. They were sent in there. They made us believe that they sent them to the war front straight away. No. It's a story for another day. But they have access to mobile phone. They have access to, girls. They have access to whatever they want. They have access to the cable TV. The only thing they don't have access to is to go out there and start driving out until when Buratai and the rest of them are ready to dispatch them to wherever part of the country they send them to. This is a statement of fact. But guess what? They will deny and deny and deny, even though they are also leaving the traces. They are leaving the trail of all these atrocities. Not long ago, a general told us that a repentant Boko Haram can become the president of Nigeria. He is right. Buhari is a Boko Haram himself. He's a terrorist. Buhari, a Nigerian soldier who plotted a coup against the government is meant to protect. He is a criminal. If Shekau has the control of the size of the Nigerian army, half of that backing him, he will take over government in Nigeria, even though he's never spent a day as a Nigerian soldier. That's how it was. Buhari himself is the Boko Haram. Why? He overthrew a democratically elected government, installed himself as the president, right? Then he was also booted out by another criminal called Babangida. Abi? So, from that moment, Buhari just disappeared. And he came back as a repentant dictator. We don't want to call him repentant dictator. Just call him a repented Boko Haram member. That's what Buhari is. He overthrew a government in 1984. He was sent away. He was put in house arrest. He was arrested by Babangida. He was put on house arrest for 30 months by Babangida because he's a criminal. A criminal arrested a criminal, right? Nothing really big deal about it, but on record, they are both criminals. So Buhari left. Then he told us, he said he's now a reformed Democrat, a repented Boko Haram member. We should vote for him. And you voted for him. When you were tired of him, you wanted to send him away, you couldn't. He stayed put. Because that's what the Boko Haram does. They will fight to kill until you pursue them finally. That's what will happen. So, a general, a major general in Nigerian army, answered the press and he told them that a repentant Boko Haram member can become president of Nigeria, and you didn't get the code. Some of you didn't know that he was talking about Buhari, that if Buhari can be president, any other person can be president. Forget it. Forget what they say, what they tell you about them today. Forget about how many people they killed today. Forget about what they steal. Forget it. They are all terrorists and they can be president if they come out to tell you that they have repented. That's what happened. So, we pamper terrorists in Nigeria. We lay red carpets for them. You know what I mean? They talk in the midst of the authority, telling the authority that they are authority themselves. That if not because of, for peace sake, they won't even sit with the authority. That's how confident they are. If you don't get it, let's go to Nasarawa. Is it Nasarawa? Zamfara. I keep mixing these two states up. The two states are not up to 4 local governments in my state, Ogun State. So I keep mixing them up, but there are 2 states in the north. Zamfara. Now, I want to talk about Zamfara. When this new governor came in, they began process of trying to make peace with the terrorists, bandits, who have killed and killed and killed, kidnapped. In fact, let me be honest with you. The first day that they reached an agreement with the terrorists, with the bandits in Zamfara, they released over 1,472 people, almost 1,500 people in captivity as you know, peace bargaining chip. When the governor met the leader of the bandits in Zamfara, first day of that peace deal, almost 1,500 captives were released. Only God knows how many people were still with them. Imagine keeping 1,500 people in a place. Imagine the crowd. Imagine the strength. Imagine the space. That means they always have the cover of someone powerful who was supposed to tell the world that this is happening in so place, but refused to tell the world because he's benefiting from it. And meanwhile, most of these people are also from the government. I'm talking about those who knows what is going on. Imagine how easy to move 1,500 people. Let us be honest. Let us be honest. Boko Haram have over 10,000 Nigerians in their captivities. All over the north. Scattered in different camps all over the north. No joke. No joke. Bandit, Boko Haram, all of them. They kidnap at will. They rob banks. When they run out of cash to buy weapons, they do go out there to rob banks. This is what they do. But what do we do in return? We honor them because we want peace. It also happened in Benue State. There's a guy, I forgot his name right now, who happened to be a terrorist himself in Benue State, but protected by the governor, Otom, the current governor of Benue State. You remember the killings in Benue State 2016, 2017? You know how bad that was? Well, someone was behind it too. And that person, the person behind it, who they later gave up to sacrifice, to cover their shame, happens to be a boy of the same state governor who sworn to protect the people of Benue State. He was the terrorist, the kidnapper, and so on and so forth. And they knew. But they protected him. He's a member of their party. He's working for them. He's protecting them. So he's scratching their back and they are robbing his belly too. That's how they roll. Criminals in charge. So they honor criminals like themselves. They tell you to shut up. You don't understand what you are talking about. Yes. We won't shut up. We won't. Sowore did nothing. No matter what narrative you want to give it. I've said it. You don't need to like him. It will surprise you. I never really liked him before. But with time, you realize that it is actually not about the person. You know what I mean? It is about his own ideology that you find one way or the other to connect with. The moment you take out that person from that ideology, and I got a clearer picture. The clearer picture of who Omoyele Sowore is. So I disagreed with him before. I would come up here and tell you a lot. And in fact, I can be able to convince like half of my page otherwise about Omoyele Sowore if I want to be so focused on his person. His person is just his person. Right? But there is something bigger than his person. And that is what he represents, the ideal that I speak for. You may disagree with it, fine. But if you take your time, you will realize that you are one way or the other connected to some of what he stands for. And the moment you take his person, I don't like him, look at him, see the way he talks. If you can take that out of that context, you may end up being like me. And you will see better. You will see better. And that's who Omoyele Sowore is. It didn't start today. It started when there was no Twitter, when there was no Facebook, when there was no all of this, when there was no Sahara reporters. How can he then just want attention now? When he's got it back when he was just escaping from being a teenager. Come on. Take his person. You may not like the way he talks. Fine. I don't like how people talk, so some people talk some other times. Many of you don't like the way I talk. But one way or the other, you are connected to my messages. One way or the other. And that is all you need to stand together and stop these miscreants. They will lead Nigeria into another war. Social media is not the genesis of that. Let me be honest with you. You see all the games they are playing, all the nonsense they are doing. The bubble will burst. Okay? Because it's stocked up now. It's smoked up. Everything they have tried their hands on to pull together because they want to be in control. The more they try to pull these things together, the more the more the space keeps widening, and the more they are losing. It's like, let me put it this way. I've got this in my bin bag, yeah? My bin bag. It's so easy to hold it like this. The moment I begin to have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know what I mean? So I can hold it like this. I can do what I want with this, right? But the moment I begin to acquire more and more, so the space will keep widening until I lose control. That is what will happen. They will lead Nigeria to a revolution they won't be able to control. And it doesn't matter if you want it or not. They will push you into it because all these things, people knows. They may not have the bigger platform to express themselves. They may not hold so much cash to speak up and people listen. But guess what? They know. And the more the confident these guys become, the more they try to pull together, the more they try to control, the more they lose control. And when you do this, right, you are in charge. When you do this, you are not in charge. You see that space, right, is an exposure that will bring in more of things, whether wanted or not. And before you know it, the wider it becomes, the more, the loss of your control on the whole thing. And by the time you do like this, what is this? You give up. You are no longer in control. You may give yourself psychological sort of impression that says, when I do this, it means I control everything. You are not. And that is what tyrant Buhari will lead Nigeria to. He will start the revolution for us. With all these injustices that are, happening every now and then, he will push Nigerians into it. He's been given 14 days ultimatum to release Omoyele Sowore, or we hit the street on the 17th. Today is the 15th. 17th on Tuesday. Nigerians are going to stage another nationwide protest. This time around, if you notice very well, the revolution has begun. Let's be honest. Yeah, let's be honest. Punch newspaper came out with a very, sort of a bullseye hit, I'll say. They came out like fire blazing, blood dripping, no mercy, straight to the point, postulation, which is good. They called Buhari out. They gave him the proper name they believe they will be comfortable in addressing him as. Great! That is the revolution. That was what Sowore called for. Let us rally round and tell this government to do the right thing. We ain't animals. But they kept silent. Guess what? It is happening already. Yeah, the revolution is beginning. Or let me just say the revolution has begun. Why? Here's another one. There is another online platform called The Signal. Immediately, the Punch, released that satirical, heat. Signal also joined. And they said, yeah, that's what we call him now. A dictator, a tyrant. You know what I mean? A merciless dictator. Great. That's the revolution. Okay? So before you know it, they will do the job for us. Buhari will be frustrated more. Meanwhile, his frustration, or the frustration of those who are trying to play hanky-panky with us, their frustration will push them to make more mistakes. Are you with me? And the more mistake they make, the likelihood of them meeting their own doom, they will be their own albatross. So fear not. And that's what I told you the last time. I said, do not appeal to any Buhari-din you see. Okay? The reason why you shouldn't take any Buhari-din or Buhari-didiri, any articulated moron or any articulated mugu with any Buhari Dinotu or Buhari Dijatu, Ngozi Aris, all of them. You know, the reason why you shouldn't take them serious is this. Atiku, Tinubu, Buhari, Jonathan, all of them, they will meet again. They will decide who is going to be the next president again. You will see them in pictures. So they will give their support to any of these criminals again. And guess what? You that is shouting articulated articulator. We are Buhari-dins, Buhari-didiri. Yes, we are Buhari-dins, we are General Buhari-dins and all of that. Articulators are thieves. They are thieves. They want to thief Nigeria. They want to steal money again. Yeah, that is what a Buhari-didiris will say. Yeah? Oh, Buhari is also a criminal. He's been looting this. Tinubu should go to jail. Tinubu is the enemy of Nigeria. Blah, 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 blah. That's what an articulated moron will say. But one day, you see Atiku, see Tinubu, see Jonathan. And when they say we are fighting Buhari, hey, yes, let's leave the past. The past is in the past. Let's leave that one now. What happened is that these people have apologized. They are now working to help us deal with Buhari. Yes, that's what they say. We know them. Yeah? The programmed idiots. People controlled. People whose thoughts are controlled by their bellies. Who are so scared of missing out on the next launch. If they can't raise their voice now and quickly support this. How intelligent they are. How articulate they are. How when Awolowo couldn't make a deal with Sadauno then make a deal with Azikiwe, and they became this or that. So what is new? There's no permanent friend, there's no permanent enemy in politics. That is what an articulated moron will tell you someday. If they are not yet telling you or saying that to you. That is what a programmed Buhari-didiri will tell you later. And say, before, that was then, we were in another camp. We are together now, my brother. We are together now. One love, one love, one love. Oh yeah, Tinubu for president. Atiku said we should. Fuck you. That's why I don't take you serious. They are the most vocal, the most, God knows, in defense of these criminals. But guess what? We will not need to convince you. Not anymore. You will make it happen. You will help them to gain more power. You will help them back to power again and again and again. You will continue to complain and complain like us. We will continue to complain because we won't support them. Okay? We won't. And we will continue to complain. Then you will leave us. Some of you are complaining with us now. Because your person, as one way or the other, lost out of the power game, and now you are so wise. You are now a philosopher. You read philosophy. In fact, you understand politics from 1960. So all that rubbish. Fine, because your person don't lose power. You are complaining like us now, okay? Our own person has never been in any power. We've never want to be part of the whole establishment anymore. So you are angry because yours is not there. Fine, you are with us. The number is high now. When the whole machination for 2023 begins again, you'll find your level again. And guess what? They will shovel the... It's like you put a seed of Buhari Dideris, Buhari Dins, Buhari Dideris, Buhari Dinotus, Buhari Dichatus, Ngoziaris, Buhari Shukus, Mumumadus, Bele lecturers, Mumu lecturers, obedient fools, unboot slaves, and so on. You put the seed together. Then you put articulated morons, articulated moguls, articulated looters, articuluters, you put them as well. The seed. Then mix them together in a basket. Okay? Before you know it, they've mixed together again. They'll produce another name. They may call themselves Tinubu East. They may call themselves Generation of Revivalists. They may give themselves any name. But guess what? We go dey here. Still they complain. They tell them, say, fuck you 1 million times. Because what will save Nigeria right now, to be honest with you, where we should start putting our energy on right now, is to help Buhari divide Nigeria to save humanity. I'm not going to put money to buying guns. No, I'm not asking you to fight with guns. They will push you to buy guns. They will push you to defend yourself someday. Okay? So to save humanity, let us help Buhari and his criminal gang to divide Nigeria. It will save life. And this is what I mean. Buhari, Babangida, how many of them? Abba Kyari, Maman Daura, El Rufai, and all those other criminal governors in the north. 19 states.
I'm just waiting for you.
Are you with me? 19 states. They can be dealt with by Boko Haram, by bandits, by other what is that drug that they use in Nigeria at some point that they had to ban? That syrup they drink. What is it again? Codeine. So the codeine destroyed young people in the north because it's an epidemic in the north, by the way. Codeine abuse. So they can deal with their criminals in the north. The same way Sudan dealt with al-Bashir. You know what happened? Sudan used to be the largest, the biggest, or let me say the largest country in Africa by landmass. Sudan. But the battle for independence, it wasn't a good story anyway, but I'll use it. South Sudan versus Northern Sudan. Sudan president was then dictator al-Bashir Omar. Al-Bashir Omar. So al-Bashir Omar was like Buhari. In fact, he was more powerful than this lifeless Buhari. Because he was a full-time dictator. He came in as a dictator, naturalize, they always do that. They naturalize himself to a civilian that nobody can challenge or defeat in any election. But the South were adamant. We want to leave. We don't want to do again. It don't do. Day or day. No, day or day. Last, the South gained independence. So, under the dictator al-Bashir Omar, that brought a different trend in the country. The Southerners decided to deal with their own corrupt leaders. They've not found peace since then. No. I'm not saying that it's a rosy story. I told you. But they divided. So Sudan became 2 countries. Northern Sudan, which remained as Sudan. Southern Sudan, which is now Southern Sudan. So, not long after that breakup, the northern people, who have been indulging al-Bashir for years, they wanted to fight him, but they couldn't because they believed that they will lose power to the south. The same way the northern people today, even their illiterate, these ones are always invading social media up and down. The suffering and smiling ones, the same way we have them in the south, by the way, we have the suffering and smiling in millions in south as well, who are now Facebook and social media for Fusela. For the criminals, they call political leaders in the south as well. So the northerners in Sudan, who were protecting al-Bashir while he was committing different human rights abuses, killings, disappearance of anyone that criticized him. All they were protecting him. They were suffering too, but they were protecting. They couldn't fight because he's a northerner and he's the president. They hold the power. They don't want the power to go. Immediately, Sudan divide. Bam! They faced al-Bashir. Because then, there were no Southerners for him to treat anyhow anymore. There were no Southerners for him to kill. And nobody would do anything. Do you know what I mean? So, he has to do it on his own northern brothers now and sisters. They couldn't... See, someone who has been in power for over 22 years. That they tolerated him. Just 2-3 years after Southern Sudan break up. The northerners couldn't take 3 years. They couldn't take another 20 years of him. Only 3 years after that, he was ousted out of power in a disgraceful revolution that consumed his regime. So that's what we want in Nigeria. Okay? Let the South go and let the North go. See if that Buhari will remain the Lord of the man or there. And those small, tiny God, they call their God, born to rule, and all of that nonsense, Let's see how long they will last among the people they refuse to train. We have been reading about the poverty in the North, Abi. The poverty in the North is out of this world. The calamity caused by the Boko Haram, by the bandits, endless killings, ravaging of farms and villages has rendered the North poorer. But they are putting up a showpiece everywhere, telling you how much they are. But guess what? Those factories they are trying to attract, or they are attracting to the North right now, are now being operated majorly by those who are not from the North. Because the Northern youth themselves are either unemployable at all, or just doesn't exist for anything there. Because the technology that the world demands today, some of these political criminals from the North, including Buhari, they've never trained any of this generation or prepared them for such. They can be putting up different, these different showpiece here and there, but we know the reality. Okay? So if Nigeria divide today, we will deal with Tinubu. We will deal with Uzokalu of this world. We will deal with all these criminals, Okorochas from the south. We will deal with all these past criminals and the present and the future criminals in the south. Our way. Doesn't mean that we are going to become Dubai or London overnight. No, it means that we have prioritized our problem. So if I want to go for Tinubu, nobody will tell me that Buhari will come and defend him, because Buhari will be facing his own wahala in the north too. The children they fail to train, we ask them questions. But they won't ask them questions now because they have an excuse. It's because the Southerners have stolen the money. Look at them. We are sending them to jail. They stole all the money. We are trying to fix Nigeria. But these people stole all the money. So they won't have that excuse anymore. They will face them, some of them, Niger and Katsina, they're not far. Or maybe not Chad, I don't know. They're not far. Buhari will just, they say if Buhari just go to his backyard to pee, the man is already in Niger Republic. So it's not far. Some of them will run away from the problem they've created in the north. Those who are abusing us today, calling us names, that is because we hate Buhari. That is why we are asking him to deal with terrorists and then cooperate with the activists, people who want Nigeria to work for everyone. So you won't be able to call us terrorists on social media anymore. Because your terrorists by then will be home with you. You can see them face to face. They will no longer give you an excuse that someone from the south stole $90 billion. And you will believe them. Are you with me? Maybe they will anyway. But I don't think they will last. So that's why we have to start now to educate our people. Let us start the process of encouraging, influencing, supporting the breakup of that country to save lives. This may sound ridiculous to you, but it is the only way you can still be here in another 20 years. With the way they are going, I don't think they will last another 10 years. If PDP had been this ruthless, they will be gone for good for a long time. But the PDP criminals, those ones under PDP then, they seems to be like veterans in how to swindle the public, make the public feel like everything is fine, everything is going to be fine, even though everything is not going to be fine. Vision 2020, Vision 2010, 0. Vision 2020, 17 days, 0. Now we are hearing Vision 2050. So PDP were smart in a way that they could deceive us for 16 years until people said, oh yeah, we are done. APC has no such stoic in them. They don't have such genuity in them. They don't have such smartness in them. They are so overwhelmed with what they want and what they've got. And in this case, it seems that they have lost control of that and they are fighting to keep it together. Fighting to keep it together. The more they are trying to keep it together, the more mistakes they make, the more the whole thing becomes much like, hot peri-peri. And that's the truth. If you agree with me. So we want them to do the right thing, but they won't. Therefore, it will consume them, right? They will start this war, and then they will be consumed by it. And that is why we say, if you are a northerner, watch out. Muhammad Aliu, let me read your comment. The country called Nigeria need war. And again, those old fools called Nigerian leader need to be killed. There are no problems in Nigeria. There are no problems Nigeria have. Well, that sounds good, but I just don't understand the killing. I don't support killing. I'm sorry. If that sounds like passive to you, I don't support killing. People say that all the time. That's why today, when you hear that, oh, they've killed 4 people, they killed 4 soldiers, people don't even feel moved. In the UK here, if they say they found 1 body, I'll sit down and I'll be watching the news, right? And they'll say, oh, a body has been found, a body of so has been found, she's been declared missing there for 4 days, so that the family, you just sit down there and be like, God, what will be going on with the family right now? Like, how is it going to be? If I'm actually sitting here now and someone is telling me about my daughter, something happened to her and they found out, that kind of a thing. So you become so kind of attached to it, like humanity in you will speak, like make you feel like, what is the world becoming today, man? But Nigerians, they say, hey, SARS shot a driver because of 15 naira. You see these SARS people, only God will punish you. That's what they do. Oh. That's what they do all the time. Oh. May God just save us. Oh. Finish. No emotion, no nothing. Just that kind of sharp reaction. Oh, gee, God. Can you imagine? 50 people died. 50 people. Hey, that road, that road na bad road. Oh. That's why I always avoid the road. Because I don't want to die young. 50 people. Hey. May God they protect us. So finish. Because she knows that she's going to hear the same story in another few days again. And it's going to be the same thing, the same reaction. Well, may God just save us. So see this government, see this Boko Haram killed 120 people. Now so those Boko Haram they do. Can government do something about them? May God just save us. So that's the reaction. So that is why it's so easy that sometimes when you see when they say, Nigerians are fighting the police came to this street and they came to arrest a Yahoo boy and the street came after them and the police ran away. The first reaction from a typical Nigerian will be like, why did you let them run away? You should have killed them there and burned them and burned the car. Because that's how we feel. It doesn't mean anything to us. Kill them, yes, kill. Burn them, yes, burn them. To warn others. But we have been burning, we have been killing. Even the government had been like assassinating, incarcerating and doing all this manner of terrible things. But it never really changed anything. It never really changed anything. But it won't really that, no matter how you say it. But that's why I don't support killing. Kill them. They do that. No. There are other ways. There are better ways. There are 1,000 ways to kill a cat. There are other ways. Not kill them. You know what I mean? So, but the point I'm trying to make is this. You must not keep quiet. A lot is wrong. A lot. They've taken over the executive. We saw them do that. They took over the National Assembly. We saw them do that. They've taken over. They assaulted the judiciary. We saw them do it. The assault is complete. And the only place they are finding so difficult to penetrate, to infiltrate, you know what I mean? To manipulate the social media. They have been meeting loads and loads and loads of roadblocks that is making it even more and more unpopular, no matter what they try to do. And it is frustrating to them. They've done everything they could. They have over 100,000 fake accounts opened to keep hammering us, to keep spreading the same message, to keep telling us the danger, to keep telling us the fear message. If anything should happen to Buhari, Buhari is the only this or that. Fine, but let him obey the law. Someone obeyed the law. To concede. If you tell a Buhari day now and say, what if Jonathan also decided to just inflate the figure and declare himself the president? And what would you do? There will be war. There will be war. They will tell you one day. But meanwhile, right, Buhari disobeying court orders and telling us that we should go and do our wars won't be war to them. Someone considered, someone obeyed the law. Yes. And I hope this message will get to you too, from wherever you are watching from. Thank you so much for your time today. And we will take it on from there some other time. Alexa, turn it up to 7. I want to listen to that fella. Alexa, turn it up to 7. All right there, guys. So thank you so much for watching and enjoy your Sunday, okay?